Recently, in a large furniture store in the United States, I filmed these scenes row after row of sofas. Tables for dining and cabinets were displayed as complete lifestyle settings. Every product had a brand, a collection, and a retail price, but looking at this furniture reminded me of something I had just seen in Foshan. I showed a factory a chair on my phone and asked, "Can you make this?" No questions about the brand. They did not ask whether I needed 100 pieces or 1,000. They zoomed in, studied the structure, the curves and the fabric, then asked, "What dimensions do you need? What materials, one sample, or a batch?" That was when I realized the furniture industry may already have a mature, flexible supply chain, much like the system behind SHEIN. Most overseas designers simply do not know it exists. Here is the first number. In the United States, an RH Cloud 2-seat sofa starts at roughly $6,700. A B&B Italia 3-seat sofa sells for nearly $19,000, and larger configurations can exceed $30,000. I am not saying a Chinese factory product is identical to an original. Brand value, original design, materials, craftsmanship, certification, and service all deserve a price. That inside a Foshan factory, you see furniture from a completely different angle. Retail stores see brands, collections, and retail prices. Manufacturers see timber frames, foam density, fabric, hardware, stitching curves, and shipping volume. A $20,000 sofa is broken back down into dozens of production parameters that can be selected, changed, and quoted. So the biggest difference is not only price. The same piece of furniture is described in two completely different languages on the two sides. When many people hear Chinese furniture supply chain, they still imagine huge factories, huge orders, and a minimum order of one full container. What I see is different. In a mature industrial cluster, one product is divided among specialists. One makes the timber frame, another cuts foam, another handles metal, others work with fabric, leather, finishing, or packaging. A factory or project team brings them together. Because these suppliers are close to one another, an image can quickly become a dimension drawing. That drawing becomes a material plan. A sample is made first, and if it is not right, it is revised. That is flexibility. It does not mean magically producing anything overnight. It means you do not have to commit to thousands of units of inventory from day one. Start with an idea, validate one piece, then 5, then 20, and scale only when it works. Public information about SHEIN says a new product may begin with only 1 or 200 units, followed by more orders based on demand. Furniture is heavier, slower, and more complex than clothing, but the logic is similar. Test small batches, learn quickly, then scale. One piece is enough to start. If this capability already exists, why has it remained invisible? And why are overseas designers still not using it at scale? That is the real question. Because what is missing between factories and designers is not WeChat, WhatsApp, or translation software. What is missing is a complete interface for trust and collaboration. An American designer may say, "I want this feeling," while actually asking whether the project can meet commercial standards. A Chinese factory may only hear the client wants a custom sofa. The factory can make it, but may not present its capability in a language designers recognize. The website may be outdated, the photos inconsistent, and the English description may say only "we can customize." Meanwhile, designers may not know how to turn a mood board into a complete production brief. How should dimensions be set? Which foam density? What standards apply to fabric durability, fire resistance, and color fastens? How are samples approved? What is inspected before production? Who is responsible for damage in shipping or installation? Until these questions are solved, a lower factory price means very little. The real information gap is not that overseas buyers do not know Chinese furniture can be affordable. It is that they do not know China can participate in product development, not merely take purchase orders. For designers, the greatest value of this supply chain is not copying products already on the market. The real value is making original ideas possible when budgets are tight or the order is small. Imagine a home project needing a special curved sofa. Local custom work costs too much, and no catalog has the right size. The designer provides a sketch, dimensions, references, and the use case. The supply chain team defines the structure, materials, and sample standard. They make one piece. The designer checks proportions, comfort, and details before producing exactly what the project needs. If the market responds well, it can even become the designer's own small product line. That changes the designer's role. In the past, Designers mostly selected from brand catalogs. In the future, they can directly call on manufacturing capabilities. They are no longer only selectors of products, they can become creators of products. But one point is essential: flexible manufacturing is not the same as copying. Understanding structure from an image is an engineering capability. Directly copying someone else's protected design is another matter. If this supply chain is used only for cheap imitations, most of its value is wasted. The best collaboration is for designers to bring original ideas, practical project requirements, and aesthetic judgment, while factories bring material knowledge, structural experience, and production efficiency. Together, they can turn a sketch into a real deliverable product. That is where the opportunity lies. China's supply chain should not always make things designed by others, and overseas designers should not be limited to existing brand catalogs. What furniture needs next is not another factory, and not another website full of product photos. It needs an operating system for the supply chain, a system that designers can understand, trust, and actually use. A designer uploads a sketch, a reference image, or a 3D file. The system helps clarify dimensions, materials, budget, quantity, and compliance. The right factory makes the sample, with material boards, photos, video, milestone approvals, and independent quality checks along the way. Finally, the product is shipped safely to the United States, Europe, or the project site. The manufacturing capability has always been there. What is missing is a stable, transparent, trustworthy interface. I think of it this way: China has already built powerful furniture hardware, but overseas designers still have no simple way to plug into it. Whoever connects those two sides could create the next generation of furniture brands, designer products, or even a new industry model. So, the next time you see a sofa priced at $10,000 or $20,000 in an overseas store, do not only ask why it is expensive. Ask this instead: what could a designer create with direct access to the world's most flexible manufacturing network? Next, I will keep visiting factories in Foshan and filming the real process: sampling, material selection, quotations, quality inspection, and international shipping. I will also take a real design and start with a single drawing. Now, can it become a real product? If you are a designer, or you are building your own furniture brand, follow me. The real change in this industry may have only just begun.